Your new Schlage FE575 keypad lock comes pre-programmed and ready to operate. It's not necessary for you to program the lock. However, for added security and convenience, you can custom program your lock to your own personalized codes if you desire. Locate the label on the front of your programming and operating guide. A matching label appears on the back of your keypad assembly. Listed at the top of the label is your unique 6-digit programming code. This code is used only to program the lock. It will not open the lock or perform any other lock operations. You can change this programming code or keep the pre-programmed code from Schlage. To change the programming code, you must first put the lock in programming mode. Do this by entering the 6-digit programming code from the label. You will hear 3 beeps and the Schlage button will turn orange whenever your lock is in programming mode. Once the backlight changes to orange, press the Schlage button, then the number 3 key. Wait until the Schlage button flashes 3 times and you hear 3 beeps. Enter your new 6-digit programming code once. After the Schlage button flashes and beeps 3 times again, enter the new programming code again to confirm. You will hear 1 long beep and the Schlage button will turn green when your programming step is successful. If the Schlage button flashes red, this is a warning that the programming step was unsuccessful and you will automatically exit from programming mode. To continue, retry the previous steps. You can also consult the troubleshooting section of your user's guide for additional assistance options. One possible reason for a new programming code not to work is that the first 4 digits match an active user code. Once you see the green light and hear the long beep, you have successfully changed your programming code. To perform any additional programming, you will enter this new programming code as your first step. Underneath the programming code on the label, you'll find 2 preset user codes. A user code will be only 4 digits. Note that a user code cannot match the first 4 consecutive digits of the programming code. User codes are necessary to operate your FE575 keypad lock. You can activate up to 19 different user codes at once. Adding or deleting a user code takes just seconds. To add a new user code, enter your 6-digit programming code. Wait for the Schlage button to turn orange. Then press the Schlage button, followed immediately by the number 1 key. Enter the new 4-digit number. Pause until the Schlage button blinks 3 times and you hear 3 beeps. Then enter the same 4-digit number again to confirm. When the light turns green and you hear a long beep, you have successfully added a new user code. Your lock will automatically exit programming mode. To delete a single user code, enter your 6-digit programming code. Wait for the orange backlight. Press the Schlage button, followed immediately by the number 2 key. Enter the 4-digit user code you want to delete. Pause, then enter the same 4-digit number again to confirm. When the light changes to green, you have successfully deleted an existing user code. The ability to quickly add or delete user codes gives you the flexibility to allow temporary access to your home when you choose. This is a great option for times when you have out-of-town visitors or service providers. Your new Schlage keypad lock can also be programmed to temporarily disable all user codes. You might want to use this option if you're away from home for an extended period and you don't want anyone to have access during your absence. To disable all user codes, enter your programming code. When the Schlage button is orange, press it, then immediately press the number 4 key. The backlight will turn green and automatically exit programming mode. If you enter a user code, the Schlage button will flash red and green and you will hear a high and low beep. To enable the user codes, simply enter your programming code. All user numbers that were active when you disabled the lock become functional again. You may also want to erase all user codes at once. To do this, enter your 6-digit programming code. When the Schlage button is orange, press it, then immediately press the number 6 key. The backlight will flash 3 times. Re-enter your 6-digit programming code to confirm. Remember, if you delete all user codes, you will need to add new ones in order to operate the lock. In some circumstances, you may need to completely reset your lock back to the default programming and user codes that were pre-programmed by Schlage. For example, the preset codes may have been changed, and you do not know the new codes. To restore the default settings, disconnect the battery, then press and release the Schlage button on the keypad. Reconnect the battery. Then press and hold the Schlage button until the backlight turns green and the lock beeps. To reprogram the lock after this reset, use the default programming code from the label in your user's guide or on the back of the keypad assembly. One additional programming option you have is to turn the beeper on or off. The default setting is on. To change this, enter your 6-digit programming code. Press the Schlage button, followed immediately by the number 5 key. The backlight will turn green. For safety purposes, the lock will still beep when the battery is low, even if you have the sound option turned off. Your new FE575 keypad lock is now programmed and ready to protect your home. For details on how to operate your new FE575 keypad lock, return to the main menu and select the Lock Operations option.